Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. And here we go. Once again, the Knicks were not ready to stand up and take control of their season. Blown out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And not even a good Cleveland Cavaliers team. This is not the Cavaliers team with LeBron James and all those guys. This is the Cavaliers team with Kevin Love, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland. And I'm not saying that Darius Garland and Colin Sexton are bad players. Just saying they're young. I don't know what else we can say, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else we can say. And what does it mean that Steve Mills and Scott Perry stood up and addressed the media following tonight's loss? We got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. A whole lot to talk about. I need you to do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. Hey, let's take some time and let's review the game. All right, throw some highlights up on the screen. We can take a look at the game, review the game, talk about the game, and then we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, all right? So let's get with it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, the Knicks started the game off with turnovers. You're going to see right here, Frank Ntilikina turns the ball over to Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, score. All right, easy bucket for Colin Sexton. Right, Kevin Love, he was living in the paint a little bit today. Right, you see him there, nice move over Taj Gibson, puts the ball in the cup. All right, the Knicks really didn't have many answers. Darius Garland gets in the lane, although he didn't convert that one, and Frank Ntilikina gets it up to Taj Gibson for the dunk. Won't be the first time you've seen Darius Garland in the lane. RJ Barrett, he wanted the rebound tonight. He goes down the lane, he dunks it, but he really ended the night with 9 points. He didn't do much to help the Knicks recover. And I'm not blaming RJ Barrett. I'm just saying Colin Sexton knocks down the long three. You're going to see Colin Sexton one more time with the steal and for the little tap dunk. And the Knicks call timeout down 14-4. Damian Dotson gets the open lane to the basket. Knicks try to get back in it, 14-6, down 8. You see Darius Garland gets the ball inside in the lane, like I said earlier, scoops it in. Darius Garland didn't look bad tonight. Wasn't having the greatest season, but he looked bad tonight. And you see Colin Sexton going to work. Colin Sexton had 31 points tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 31 points. Frank Ntilikina gets the ball to Julius Randle over to Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, even though he gets that one to Julius Randle there, Marcus Morris didn't have that good of a game tonight. And like what Clyde Frazier kept saying, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle usually don't have good games on the same night. Julius Randle tried in that third quarter to bring the Knicks back, but it wasn't going to happen. But right now, we're still talking about the first. Frank Ntilikina gets it up to Damian Dotson, who spins and lays it in. Right, 19-14 at this point. Jordan Clarkson, he was not bad tonight. He gets the ball, he goes to the basket, scores over Julius Randle. Anyway, Jordan Clarkson again gets inside, kicks it back out to, forgot Larry Nance Jr. Larry Nance Jr. knocked it down. I almost forgot Larry Nance Jr.'s name. You see Jordan Clarkson once again to the cup, dunk. Now, how are the Knicks allowing these wide open layups and dunks down the lane? And it happened a lot tonight. Jordan Clarkson once again from 3 knocks it down. And the Knicks down 14 points at this point. At the end of the first quarter, Knicks down 14. Alonzo Trier from 3. He knocks it in. Actually, the Knicks to make it 29-18. Actually, I think the Knicks down 11 at the end of the first quarter. Whatever it was, we're going to look at those stats deeper later on. All right, Michael Porter Jr., he lays it in. Everybody's scoring all over the Knicks tonight. And listen, the Cavs really didn't shoot that good throughout the game. And for a good portion of the game, they were like 42%. You see Larry Nance Jr. get the pass, big dunk off the baseline. Again, the Knicks with an errant pass. Kevin Porter Jr. advancing the ball up the floor. Goes coast to coast, ladies and gentlemen. Coast to coast. No one picks up the ball and stops the basketball. This is just bad basketball. Kevin Knox gets the lucky roll, but Kevin Knox didn't really play that great of a game tonight. Right? Marcus Morris in the paint. Misses. Bobby Portis follows it up with a dunk. Knicks down 37-26 at that point. Kevin Knox advanced the ball up to R.J. Barrett. Again, R.J. Barrett knocks it down. He had 9 points tonight. And you see Colin Sexton again. He had 31 points. Isolation on Julius Randle. Pulls it up. Bang. No. But Kevin Porter Jr. follows up with a dunk. The Knicks were letting everybody get to the rim. Julius Randle finds Bobby Portis, finds Frank Ntilikina, who lays it in. But Frank Ntilikina really didn't have too big of a night. He had 4 points and 3 turnovers. One of his turnovers came right at the beginning of the game. Kevin Love, turn around over Bobby Portis, knocks it down. Kevin Love had 17 points and 8 rebounds on the night. See Marcus Morris, like I said, had an off night. He had 9.6 rebounds. Picked up a technical foul, too. I'm curious to see how many technical fouls Marcus Morris had or has this season. Very curious to see how many technical fouls he has. Colin Sexton advances the ball up the floor, kicks it back to Osman. Osman knocks down the triple, and Osman had a few of those triples tonight because the Knicks were leaving them wide open. And not just Osman, they were leaving everybody wide open. R.J. Barrett to Julius Randle for the lay-in. And the Knicks down 19 at the half. Now here in the third quarter, and it gets real ugly in the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. You see Colin Sexton knock down the triple. And it's 61-36 at this point, and it gets even uglier. Marcus Morris, he pulls up, he knocks it down, but it's all for naught because it's going to get nasty. 61-42. Cedi Osman, he finds Colin Sexton in the corner for 3, knocks it down, and now is when it starts to go. Marcus Morris turned the ball over, up the floor. Colin Sexton scoops in, layup. All of a sudden now, ladies and gentlemen, it's 68-42. Kevin Love finds Cedi Osman. Oh, Larry Nance picks up the turnover. And Larry Nance puts it in. Cavaliers up 70-42. Colin Sexton finds Cedi Osman for the layup, wide open layup. How'd he get past 4 Knicks players back? Cedi Osman has a wide open layup at the rim as the Cavaliers went up 30. The Knicks try to make a run in this third quarter. Right, Julius Randle starts to play hard. The Knicks start to play hard, and they actually make a run to trim the lead. And you see Damian Dotson knocks down the 3 to make it 74-56. It's an 18-point lead with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. Right, Jordan Clarkson. Kevin Knox did a good job stopping him at first, and then he gave up on the play. Jordan Clarkson scores. Right, Julius Randle steps back, knocks down the 3, bang, 76-59, and the Knicks are climbing and inching closer and closer. The Knicks were able to cut the lead to 13, cut the lead to 13 in that third quarter until Jordan Clarkson takes it back to a 15-point lead. Kevin Knox giving up the baseline once again. You got to cut off the baseline, right? So with 78-63 in the fourth quarter, Kevin Knox gives up the baseline to make it 80-63, and then 81-63. Marcus Morris goes down the lane, gets fouled, puts it in to make it 81-66, and then Cleveland scores to make it 83-66, and then Alonzo Trier knocks down the pull-up to make it 83-68. The Knicks still fighting. They're still trying to stay in it, but just not enough. Kevin Love, like I said, he did some work in the paint tonight. Nice nifty move over Marcus Morris, or under Marcus Morris, to make it 85-68. Alonzo Trier comes down. He goes one-on-one. Finds Damian Dotson for the 3. Bang. He knocks it down. It's 85-71. The Knicks still trying to climb in, but there comes a point where the Knicks just can't do it anymore. Even though Alonzo Trier knocks down that mid-range, it comes a point where the Knicks just kind of throwing the towel, it feels like. Darius Garland to the cup. Nobody even contends. They just let him go to the cup and lay it in. Now it's 92-73. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Alonzo Trier knocks down the 3 to bring it back to 16, but the Knicks really couldn't. The game was basically an abomination. The Cleveland, they went down 30 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, ladies and gentlemen. Tristan Thompson in the paint, He misses, gets his own rebound, back up and puts it in. And, from here, ladies and gentlemen, the game is pretty much done. You see the Cleveland Cavaliers running on the New York Knicks, dunking on the New York Knicks. Things that I said they should not allow, they allowed. Even in the half court. Listen, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're not a fast-breaking team. But guess what? They were kind of a fast-breaking team tonight. They got some fast break points, and they shouldn't have because they were last in the league or 27th in the league in fast break points coming into this game. And the Knicks made them look like a running team. Embarrassing game by the New York Knicks. Embarrassing game by the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much more that I can say about this game. I don't know if there's much more that you can say about this game. It was just embarrassing. You guys know the guy that I interviewed not too long ago, and he said some things about, R.J. Barrett, who he compared R.J. Barrett to. I know you guys remember who I'm talking about. Well, the last time the Knicks got blown out by the Sacramento Kings, he said anyone that's calling the Knicks loss to the Kings embarrassing, he said something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Right? But I called them embarrassing. And I'm going to say to you again, Brian. The Knicks loss tonight was embarrassing. They got blown out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are not a playoff team, not close to a playoff team. They're 4-5 now. The Knicks got blown out by these guys. Embarrassing loss. Embarrassing loss by the New York Knicks. And, look. There's not much more that I can say. I'm going to go over some box score numbers and stuff like that. I don't even know how much you guys want to see these numbers, but we're going to go ahead and go over it, and then we're going to get some reactions from everybody. All right? Now, the Knicks tonight. Oh, boy. I'm not even going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. It was rough for me to even do this game. I didn't really want to do the game because it was such an embarrassing loss. You know what I mean? I was like, man, what's the point? What was the point? But I decided to come in and do it anyway. You know what I mean? Decided to come in and do it anyway. The Knicks had never had a lead in the game. The Cleveland Cavaliers had a 30-point lead. All right, and if everything looks a little bit different than, normally, obviously you can see I'm not in my studio, so things are going to look and maybe sound a little bit different. All right? Cleveland Cavaliers had a 30-point lead. The longest run they made was 11. Or the longest run any team made was 11. That was probably the Knicks. They made a pretty big run in that third quarter to try to get back into it, but it wasn't happening. The Knicks, listen, they won the battle of the boards. That was one of the keys to the game. They had to win the battle of the boards. They actually won the battle of the boards. Right? They had 52 rebounds tonight. But it was all for naught. They only had 19 assists. They had 11 steals, 8 blocks, 21 turnovers by the Knicks tonight. And it started early. It started in the beginning of the game, the turnovers. The Cavaliers tonight, they had 45 rebounds, 20 assists, 12 steals, 2 blocks, and 14 turnovers. They shot 43.9% from the field. Listen, if a team is shooting 43.9% from the field, they should not beat you by 20. They should not have a 30-point lead on you. But, of course, the Knicks only shot 36%, so I guess what do you expect? Right, the Cavs shot 28.6% from 3. They shot 90% from the free throw line. The Knicks were 36% from the field, like I just mentioned. They shot 29% from 3, 64% from the free throw line. The Knicks are the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. That's embarrassing too. That is embarrassing too. Let's take a look at the box scores. I know I ran over a few numbers with you, but we'll take a look at some more numbers. All right, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love had 17 points, 8 rebounds. Cedi Osman had 5 points, 2 rebounds. Right, but but he was wide open for a couple of threes. He just missed them. A couple of fast break points. Tristan Thompson, he had 9 points, 9 rebounds. Tristan Thompson came into the game averaging 17 and 12. Colin Sexton had 31. 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Darius Garland had 12 points, 3 rebounds and 6 assists. Jordan Clarkson had 17 points. Larry Nance Jr. had 9 points, 9 rebounds. Kevin Porter Jr. had 6 points, 4 rebounds. Matthew Dellavedova, he didn't have any points, but he had 4 rebounds. Let's take a look at the Knicks box score. All right, Marcus Morris, after coming off of a 28 or 29 point game going against Kristaps Porzingis, he couldn't follow it up tonight. He had 9 points. He was 3 for 12 from the field. 0 for 5. He didn't make a 3-pointer. He took 5 3-point attempts, but he didn't make one. He had 6 rebounds. Julius Randle had 20 points and 16 rebounds. You know, but let's put it like this. You can't wait until you're down 30 points to decide that you're going to bring effort to the game. Doesn't work that way. You're down 30 points. Now all of a sudden you got energy. Now all of a sudden you feel like you got to get the team back in it. Man, get out of here. You bugging. Taj Gibson, while having a nice game in Dallas, didn't follow it up with that great of a game. But still, you know, Taj Gibson does a lot of little things that I like. You know, but he's going to have nights where he might have 12, 13, 14 points and nights where he has 4. That's just the kind of player that he is. Tonight he had 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 steals. RJ Barrett, you know, he tried to follow up a bad game in Dallas, or at least a bad shooting game, and try to rebound tonight. Wasn't really going for him. He had 9 points, 4 for 11 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He only played 24 minutes. As a matter of fact, this is the lowest minute output for RJ Barrett of the season. And maybe Coach Fizdale feels that he was playing him too many minutes. I don't know. Or maybe he just wasn't getting the job done. Frank Ntilikina played 4 minutes. He only had 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Offensively, it wasn't the same Frank Ntilikina that we've seen in Dallas. You should expect that. You know that by now. But he had a lot of trouble with Colin Sexton tonight too. Although the Knicks do switch back and forth, Frank Ntilikina, that was his primary job, to defend Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton had 31 points. And I know there's a lot of switching. You know, so Frank Ntilikina fans, don't be mad at me. Just saying. All right, Damian Dotson, he had 10 points tonight. Gave us some nice minutes. You know, he still only shot 36%. You know, he had 10 points, 1 rebound. Bobby Portis had 4 points. He had 11 rebounds and 3 assists. He also had 1 block. Damian Dotson had 1 block. Frank Ntilikina had 2 blocks. Kevin Knox. I don't know what we're going to do about Kevin Knox and his defense, guys. Kevin Knox got to get his defense together. I mean, it is well known throughout basketball circles worldwide that if you're guarding somebody on the baseline, you don't give them the baseline. You funnel them towards the defense because you don't have any help coming if you let them go baseline. Kevin Knox likes to let guys go baseline. You know, there's a lot to talk about with Kevin Knox and his defense. He's got to really work on that part of his game. If he's going to take his game to another level, he's got to be a better defender. You know, earlier in the season, people were talking about Kevin Knox taking that starting position over Marcus Morris. Listen, his defense is going to keep him out of that starting position as long as you have Marcus Morris on the team. That's that. That's that. And that's just that. All right, Alonzo Trier, he played 15 minutes. He had 13 points. He was 5 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3. And he had 2 assists on the evening. Wayne Ellington played 8 minutes. He barely did anything. Ignaz played some garbage minutes. He played 4 minutes. He had 2 points. And, you know, Iggy was supposed to play with the Westchester Knicks over the Raptors 905, but the game was canceled because the Westchester Community Center or whatever had some issues with the floor. So that game was canceled. But at least you know that Iggy's going to be going back and forth between the New York Knicks and the Westchester Knicks so he can get some playing time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of a rundown of the game, and I'll go over and I'll run down the game a little bit later on as well. You know, we'll look at the box scores and stuff again. I decided I tried a little bit of a different format of breaking down the game and running over the stats and those type of things in the beginning. And then we'll talk about the game. So, you know, hopefully you like this format and this format works for you. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post to my community section. And I know when you looked at the highlights that were coming across your screen, it probably looked a little bit choppy. The video down at the bottom of the screen might look a little bit choppy. Listen, I'm running on hotel internet. Okay? So it's going to be that way. It's going to be that way. You know what I mean? So, forgive me. Rock with me anyway. All right? Rock with me anyway. We're going to be, it's all good. It's all good. I got some guys in the video chat, so we're going to get to the guys in the video chat. Want to find out what you guys are thinking, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you got a lot of things on your mind about tonight's game. You're feeling a certain kind of way. I'm feeling a certain kind of way. I'm going to start off with you, Nate. Give me a second. Let me get you unmuted here. All right. Nate, what's going on, man? Go for it, man. Let me know what you're thinking.
Man.
How you feeling, brother?
Well, my Lions lost, so that was bad. Now the Knicks lost, so.
Yeah, well, my Giants lost to Guillermo's Jets, so.
Hey, at least one New York team won, so at least that's the silver lining.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, there's not a lot of words to describe this game. Despicable, heartless, embarrassing, shit show. I could think of other superlatives for it. It just, I really question the heart of this team. I really do. They seem lifeless. It's almost like they expected just to win this game, just showing up because it was the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back to the defense, man. The defense is downright garbage. I don't know how much more longer we're going to allow Fizdale to keep coaching defense. He needs to bring in somebody to help him coach defense.
Well, but see, I think it's more than just the defense, man. I think it's the energy, it's the mindset, and I know maybe you're clumping in the energy with the defense, but I still think it's two separate things, because you can play with good energy and not be a good defensive team, right?
I just think if we had a better defensive output, we wouldn't be getting our ass blown out all the time. Because most good defensive teams are always in games.
Yes, I agree with you.
They can lock down.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But along with the defense, I think the energy and passion that they bring to the game or that they do not bring to the game,
right,
on a consistent basis, is a problem.
And here's the thing to think about too is, and I don't know the analytics behind turnovers, but I'm pretty sure if you turn over the ball 20 times in a game, your chances of winning are very low.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot turn over the ball 20 times
unless you're making the other team turn over.
Exactly. And they only turned over to 14, but still, average is probably maybe 12, 13, 14, something like that in the NBA.
And the Cavaliers came into this game averaging 14.1 turnovers per game.
Still,
and they played on their average, right? And the Knicks came into the game averaging 16, and they turned the ball over 21 times. That's not going to get it.
A lot of these turnovers weren't even forced. They were just missed passes. They were misreads. They were miscommunications. Like, they were our own turnovers. It wasn't like the Cavs were doing anything special on defense. We just don't know how to pass the ball. It's ridiculous, and. Oh man, I don't know. It's like I said, man. I think heads are going to start rolling. Whether we're going to look at a complete lineup change, whether we're going to, I don't know. It's kind of really hard to make a lot of changes, but I think you definitely got to shuffle the lineup.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can shuffle the lineup as many times as you want. You can put in as many players as you want. If the team does not have a culture of playing with passion and playing with energy and conviction, then it's not gonna matter. Really, it isn't. It's not gonna matter who you put in the game, because they gotta have that culture of playing that way. You know what I'm saying? And right now it's up and down. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Ultimately, it's Fizdale. It's Fizdale. Ultimately, if everything is going to stop with Fizdale as far as the basketball team. right? But the players have got to take it upon themselves to come out and play with that type of energy. They've got to. You can't just say, well, Fizdale didn't do this, Fizdale didn't do that.
Right.
And all of those things may be correct. You want to say Fizdale didn't do this or that or this or that, it all may be correct, right?
Do you think it all?
The players have to come out with the energy. The players have to set the tone on the floor. Fizdale can't do that part for them.
Do you
They've
think?
got
Do
to
you
do
think
it.
it? Do you think at all, Sim, that Fizdale might be losing the locker room?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know.
You know, because
It's
he's
like,
not a rah-rah. He's a rah-rah type of guy, but he's not like one of those in-your-face type of dudes. Even though he kind of portrays that sometimes, but he's not really.
but see, it's like
I
this.
just don't think the player.
You see that third quarter, right? In the third quarter, Julius Randle finally decides that he's going to play hard, right? After they're down 30 points, now he decides he's going to play hard. Fizdale can't really control that, besides taking him out the game.
Well, that's what he's got to start
You know
doing.
what I'm saying?
I mean, if these guys aren't producing, he's got to pull their ass out early.
But the guys got to take some responsibility as well, as far as how they approach the game, the mindset that they bring to the game. Let me get back to you, Nate. All right. Let me get back to you. Guillermo, I'm coming to you in just a second. Let me let this next person into the chat. And of course, Isaiah comes in with noise, always does. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get or understand how to mute himself. I don't know. Guillermo, can you do me a favor? Can you get yourself in the screen? Like, you got like half of your head in the screen. I don't know if you got to make your mic, change your mic around or something like that. All right, man. Guillermo. Yeah, it's a little better. But if you could fix your mic or something. I mean, not your mic, your camera or something, like maybe adjust it or move it down or something like that. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. This is a terrible game all around, man. Like I said, man, watch out for those trap games. Everybody was happy because of the Mavs game and like, oh, we're gonna beat the Cavs, and you can't look at teams like that anymore because this Knicks team, we don't have the leadership, whether it's in the coaching, we don't have the floor generals. I mean, this is a game like you said, Sim. You said it perfectly. This should have been a game where you take out their main cogs, right? Garland and Sexton, right? I think Sexton hit like 5 threes on us. I mean, this guy was cooking all night, and I hardly saw any post-ups on him, try to get him into foul trouble. I didn't see, and I mean, you chalked it up to the players, you chalked it up to Fizdale. I mean, Fizdale, again, in terms of his offensive sets, they're just so piss poor. And his defense, like, I understand we don't have maybe the talent in the front court to defend properly, but again, this is a team that we play up too much to emotions, man. When it was the Chicago, Porter's had that career night or 28 points or whatever. Then we play KP, everybody wants to show out and play defense. And it's like, well, let's just take what we did with those teams. If we could beat those teams, especially the Mavericks, we should be at least a 500 team. You know what I mean? We need to have a team where we need leaders on the team, and like there's so many things, man. You saw what happened with RJ. RJ starting to burn out. I think the minutes are kind of getting up to him, and a lack of offensive game plans against him, where he's just driving now. He's not getting the calls. So he's not as effective. Might be getting to his head a little bit. And Fizzle again has no answer for that. What I mean? Randall, played well in the third quarter when we were down, kind of got us back. But then you saw him hungry on the boards and everything. But then it's like he went back to the old Randall where he's dribbling into traffic and overthinking and all that stuff. And it's like you see little bits. It's like we take one step forward and then like 3 steps back. You know what I mean? So I just get confused, man, because it's like, who's gonna be that guy? Because Morris, to me, Morris is a bully player whose offensive game is expanded a little bit, but he's not a leader. You know what I mean? I think right now he's showing out just so he could get picked up by a contender, which is fine. I mean, he's playing for himself. But, I would like for somebody to get in his face and be like, hey, bruh, when you're shooting 2 for 12 or whatever it was from 3, you got to be the guy to kind of set the tone, get guys into position. Even though you're not the point guard, but you need to be the guy to, hey, we're slacking on defense, getting guys' faces versus play for your contract. And if that means you fighting him or, getting into a fight with a scuffle or whatever with him, so be it. I'm waiting for one of these younger guys to maybe step up and do it because I'm seeing it too much from Randall when I'm from Morris is like he's just when he's not necessarily shooting well, he just keeps shooting like as if he's Kobe. You know what I mean? And then he plays a bully ball, gets into foul trouble. So all in all, man, lack of leadership, lack of offensive game plan, lack of defensive identity, lack of culture, lack of anything really. It all showed out tonight. And you heard Walt Clyde Frazier tonight say it. He was just like, he talked about the lack of defense. He talked about the lack of leaders on his team. He talked about the letdown from the Mavericks to this game. And you just saw all around, man. This Knicks team, it's upsetting, man. We get teased with games like the Mavericks, and this stuff happens. So
yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Let me.
Hey guys, we just felt like given that this.
Okay, let me stop that for 1 second. I don't know if you could hear that, but Scott Perry and Steve Mills addressed the media tonight following the game. All right.
They're firing Fizdale?
I don't know if they're firing Fizdale. I just know that they addressed the media. All right, so let's take a listen to what Scott Perry and Steve Mills had to say. And you may have to listen to it on the stream. Like I said, I'm not at home, so I don't have the usual setup. You may have to jump on the stream and listen to it. All right. This is what they had to say following the game tonight. And it's rare that Steve Mills and Scott Perry address the media in this fashion. But take a listen, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring it on over here so you can see it. Now, sometimes when I'm doing this, sometimes it doesn't always play the way that I wanted to play.
We just felt like, given that this is our 10th game, we felt we had an obligation to come and speak to you guys. Obviously, Scott and I are not happy with where we are right now. We think the team's not performing to the level that we anticipated or we expected it to perform at, and it's something that we think we collectively have to do a better job of delivering the product on the floor that we said we would do at the start of the season. We still believe in our coaching staff. We believe in the plan that Scott and I put together and the players that we've assembled, but we also have to acknowledge that we haven't played at the level we expected to play at. We haven't played we've seen glimpses of how we can play as a team when everything comes together, but we've got to find a way to play complete games at the level that we expect our team to play at. And that's a responsibility that we take collectively. But I also think it's important for us to communicate to our fans that we're not happy where we are right now, and we're committed to making this better. But we have to, as a group, come together and be more consistent in terms of how we play.
All right, so that was Steve Mills addressing the media tonight after the Knicks game. And he said what we all know. I mean, he didn't say anything new, that the Knicks were not playing up to their expectations. Not playing up to our expectations. Hopefully not playing up to Coach Fizdale's expectations. Well, what's it mean? Why come out now? What's the 10th game have to do with it? He said, it's the 10th game, so we felt like we needed to come out. What's that have to do with it? I don't know. What's it mean? What does it mean? Guillermo, I'm asking you. What's it mean?
That means somebody's about to get fired, bruh. That means somebody's about to get fired, man. Whenever the coach and the GM come out like this, I've seen it in football. It happens a lot in football, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where the coach, the GM and, it's usually
president,
just
whoever, the executive people.
Right. They come out and what they're doing right now is that he's starting to distance himself, right? He doesn't want to give the media any fodder to say, sometimes when it's bad, they say, we have to evaluate the coach, blah, blah. That usually happens like near the end of the season when the coach is about to get fired, right? But right now, it seems like they might make the change because the Knicks are doing that bad. And put like this, man. I used to think that Fizdale and Perry were married at the hip. But I think that Perry, I don't really count Mills. Mills is just, he's whatever. But I think that Perry is starting to be like, look, this is my legacy. I don't want to be tied to a coach that is just showing that, in my honest opinion, he's just showing to not be that coach. And even though I don't think this team is a playoff team per se, but they shouldn't be 1-8, right? So I think right now he's starting to
2-7. Oh, 2-8. 2-8. 2-8.
I'm sorry, 2-8. I apologize. Fizdale right now is on a bus or wherever he's not on a bus. He might be at a hotel, whatever. He's with the team per se, or he's not with them. Right now, those two guys coming out 10 games, that means that something's about to happen.
So do
And
you
I have
think?
a feeling that Mills is getting inquiries from coaches to be like, hey, I'm down to take over if you guys want to make a change, blah, blah. And that's the type of guy Mills is. I don't like Mills, but I think that he's that type where he's probably getting calls, and pretty sure Perry is too, but they're slowly trying to distance themselves away from Fizdale.
So you think that's a warning shot? Is that a warning shot? You think that's a warning shot to Fizdale?
Oh, yeah. It's a big-time warning shot because – yeah, it's a big time warning shot. When those guys, they could have waited till tomorrow. They could have waited till tomorrow when it's even though Tuesday's another game, they could have waited tomorrow, come out with a concerted voice where all three of the guys are coming out and say, hey, we're not happy with this, blah blah blah. Even though it still be weird, because GMs don't really come out like this unless something is happening. Because you're sitting there telling me that the team sucks. We all know that. You don't need you're not really telling us anything new.
Right.
But you're starting to, throw little hints that you might be moving in a different direction, and I don't blame him because Fizdale to me does not seem like that type of coach.
All right. I'm gonna get back to the video chat in a second. Let me get to a phone call. Tony, what's popping, brother? How you feeling?
Well, Black is time. Shout out to the chat. What's good, son?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I really didn't enjoy this game.
None of us did. None of us did.
I couldn't turn it off though. But
so tell me, do you think Steve Mills coming out saying what he said? Did you hear it?
Yeah, that's why I was calling earlier.
Yeah. What's it mean, man? What does that mean?
I honestly think they've been hearing the fire Fizdale talk, and this wasn't in support. Like, it was in support of Fizdale. It wasn't like a firm stand by him, but this was like kind of to shelter or cover the talk of fire Fizdale. So
basically what you're saying
down
is
the momentum.
Right. So they were coming out to say, we understand that the team is not playing well. They're not playing up to our expectations, but we still support Fizdale.
Yeah. I think it was more. I think it was less of a fire Fizdale. I think it was more of the opposite. I think they've been hearing the rumblings. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of fans are screaming, fire Fizdale. I think they hear it, and I think they're just trying to slow down that momentum. He kept saying the 10 games, because they want to evaluate after every 10 games. But it was funny. One of the reporters asked them, if they didn't play as bad as they played today, let's say they came out with the win and won, well, would you still have come out? And he was like, probably not. So that was interesting as well. Because like you were saying, why the 10 games? I think they said early they're gonna evaluate the team every 10 games. So I think because we lost and we lost so bad and it was ugly, I think this was more saying, we're not firing him. They didn't come out and say we're not firing him, but you know what I mean. I think that's more towards what they were leaning to.
Right. Okay.
And to be honest, I don't think we can fire him. Like I've been saying for a while, we're still paying 2 coaches.
Right.
We gotta let this thing build and grow. Even if he's the wrong guy, we gotta give him a chance to. We gotta let him fulfill his contract. You know what I mean? And that's another black cloud on this organization, the firing of the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not just. I mean, I guess that will fall into James Dolan, but like I don't blame James Dolan. I just think now is the time to change what you've been doing. You know what I mean? So let this even if he's the wrong guy, we got to give him a fair chance. last year was less of a evaluation period. This year, I mean, I'm not mad if they come out every 10 games and give some type of evaluation of what they like, what they don't like, and what's going on. I actually like it.
Okay. Let me ask you, how long is Fizdale's contract?
I want to say one more year.
3 years.
I want to say it was a 3-year.
I think it was. Right. I think it was 3 years. I agree with you. So then that would be next season. Right? That would be next season. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm not sure what to think about it.
I mean, very worst case scenarios, and we're trash for 2 years. As long as we don't do anything stupid on the other, you know what I mean, on the trade side, we're still gonna have the young assets, and then then maybe we get somebody in who could really put this thing together.
Yeah. So see,
and I'm not defending them. I'm just saying.
Nah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
What I would want to know, if they were to come out every 10 games or whatever, I don't know. Every 10 games might be too soon for me. Like, I would rather do a quarter of the season. So you're talking 20 games. You know what I'm saying? But I would want to know if they're going to come out, instead of just saying, we're not happy with the way things are. Obviously, you're not happy. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Now, they did say, we fully support the coaching staff. But I would want them to at least give us some specifics, a few specifics. Nothing, they're not going to give you anything crazy. But, we're not happy with the defense. We would like to see this. We would like to see that, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just coming out and just saying, we're not happy, they're not meeting expectations. What's that saying? I mean, we know that. We get that.
I agree, and they were asked that too, like to clarify exactly what what you're not happy with, and all he could really say was the record, and I think he said, I think specifically what he said was, he wants to see us play a complete game, not 2 good quarters, 2 bad quarters, not 3 bad quarters, 1 good quarter. We have to basically put the thing together. You know what I mean? Like get it together. Like and I guess it's really not about wins and losses for them. It's more about competitive. Like what they said we were gonna have this year, we haven't had yet.
Right.
As of yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's really about putting together a complete 4 quarters. That's as specific as they got. And honestly, I like it. I really like it. I like it, one, because it's different. It's not just different for the Knicks, but it's different. Like, you don't see that in sports. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I like the visual of it.
Okay.
Like it's more reaching out to the fans and saying, listen, we're on the same page. We're not happy just like you're not happy.
All right.
Rather than not saying anything and we're still getting paid. You know what I mean?
So
I like it.
Do you think in any way, shape, or form was this a warning shot to Coach Fizdale?
I think it was one, to protect him, but I think it was also to let him know, like, listen, we can't stop the fans. you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to slow the momentum, but if it gets crazy, yeah, we got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
I think they try to slow the momentum of the fans.
Yeah, it's
more
interesting.
More than anything else.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think if they were gonna do this every 10 games or so, right, or something like this, it would have been nice if they would have said, listen, every 10 games we're gonna come out and give you a report or something like that. That way it wouldn't be a surprise, like, oh snap, they came out, what's this all about? I want to listen to Julius Randle, see what he had to say about what Coach, what Steve Mills and Scott Perry had to say. All right, I'm gonna keep you on the line though. All right, Tony. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it because I don't have my usual setup. All right, so you may need to listen in on the stream or something like that. So I'm gonna put you on hold. All right, here we go. This is Julius Randle, ladies and gentlemen, and his thoughts on Scott Perry and Steve Mills. Let's take a listen.
Julia, so Scott and Steve just addressed the media moments ago, and the thing that they wanted to make clear is that they believe in every player in this locker room. They believe in the coaching staff. Obviously, they're not happy with their record at this point, but they wanted to show their support. I mean, what does it mean when you guys have lost some tough games here to have those guys step up and have your backs?
Yeah, it means a lot.
Man, I'm
it means a
dead.
lot just to have their support. We just want to go out there, play to our best ability and prove those guys right. You know, they've shown a lot of commitment in us, and we just want to prove them right.
And the one thing that they spoke about is that they've seen a lot of good things in various stretches, but now it just comes down to finding consistency. So from your mind, what does that take? Where do you start with that?
At home, we've been getting out the little slow starts, which has been troubling. But we just got to consistently put 48 minutes together. I think we did it in Dallas. We didn't do it at all here. We got another chance to do it on the road. But just got to consistently put full 48 minutes together.
All right.
Man, I'm dead.
So that's Julius Randle right there, and you hear somebody saying whatever. But anyway, put together a full 48 minutes. Put together a full 48 minutes. The Knicks have not been able to put together a full 48 minutes. Well, I guess they did against Dallas, right? They put together a full 48 minutes against Dallas as far as their energy was concerned. As far as their energy was concerned, they did. They weren't able to match it tonight. I just can't understand it. Like Mike Breen was saying, I don't get it. Right? Why? How can you come out against Dallas? I mean, I understand how you can. Just come out against Dallas and you play with energy. You play like you're a playoff team. Obviously not with the shooting. They still shot less than 42%. But then you come out and you play a team that the Cavaliers, need I say more, and you're flat. And I don't want to hear anything about the travel from Dallas or anything like that because every NBA team has to go through it. I don't want to hear about any of that. None of that matters. You're an NBA team. You got to be able to bring that energy night in and night out. That's your job. That's what you get paid millions of dollars to do. And it may not be easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy at all. And I'm trying to be a little bit quiet. I'm trying to keep some energy, but be a little bit quiet too because of where I am. But, I don't know. I don't get it, man. I want to get back to these guys in the video chat. We'll take a listen to some few more interviews as they come out. And hear what these guys have to say. As a matter of fact, we can listen in a little bit to Coach Fizdale. Then after we listen in to Coach Fizdale, we'll talk to the guys in the video chat, give you a chance to call in, so on and so forth. So let me get Coach Fizdale up here. Take a listen to Coach Fizdale.
Anyone to speak to give me a sense of urgency. Let
me rewind that. Okay, here we go. This is coming up in just a second. It's Coach Fizdale.
Anyone to speak to give me a sense of urgency.
Here we go.
Obviously, Scott and Steve coming here and speaking is not something that happens often. They kind of implied a real sense of urgency to make sure that things happen and improve quickly.
Well, I don't know. I'll come back to it, ladies and gentlemen, for whatever reason. Anytime I get ready to listen to Coach Fizdale, we get ready to listen to Coach Fizdale, we have trouble with the media.
You feel that sense of urgency? Does that trickle down?
I live in that sense of urgency. I don't need anyone to speak to give me a sense of urgency. I'm not cruising through this thing, acting like it's always like I got a bunch of time to get a team together. Every day I have urgency about this team, about how I coach them, about getting them better, about building consistent habits. So I appreciate them speaking on my behalf and speaking about our team, but I live in that.
I was going to ask that. Do you think that the front office addressing it 10 games in was something that was necessary and needed?
Well, listen, however, I'm on board with whatever they decide to do when it comes to that stuff. They know I fully support them. We're in this together, obviously, but I take the brunt of that responsibility because I'm the head coach. I make these decisions of what's going on the court, what players play, who plays together, what plays we call, the defensive system. That's on me. And so as much as I appreciate them, I own it. And that's just who I am.
All right, so you heard David Fizdale right there. And a little bit in that beginning sounded a little testy to me. Now, it may have been the way that he was responding to the reporter, but he said, I don't need anybody helping to give me a sense of urgency because I have a sense of urgency. I don't know if he was sending a message to Scott Perry and Steve Mills or not. But I don't know, man. See what you guys think. Andrew TV. I'm going to come to Andrew TV, man. All right. And I want to know what you think, brother. Go ahead, Andrew. What you think?
About the whole Knicks situation?
About this whole thing with Scott Perry, Steve Mills, what David Fizdale just said, what Julius Randle just said. I mean, Julius Randle just kind of, agreed that we got to put together 48 minutes of play, but David Fizdale sounded a little testy to me. I don't know.
Well, what I'm thinking about with the Knicks situation, honestly, I feel that, Julius Randle being the number one option is not best for this team. You know what I mean? And I guess, Scott Perry and them, they was expecting, Julius Randle to be this guy to take them over the hump. And it's not that. You understand what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are looking at Fizz and probably don't like some of the, his coaching things he's doing, like, in terms of the dribble handoff stuff and, the sense of urgency that they don't seem to have when they play games. But to me, I think is, when they start out flat and they dig themselves a hole, then it's hard to get back. That's the problem with the team. And how do they fix this? I'm not too sure. So, Scott Perry and Steve Mills, they probably upset about this because they probably envision the Knicks being this, contending, at least, borderline 8-7-6 seat team in the East. And they're not looking this way. They're getting blown out by those teams. They're losing to teams of that magnitude. So when I sit down and look at the situation all entirely, how do the Knicks fix this? I simply think what the Knicks need to do is stop featuring Julius Randle as this point forward. You know what I'm saying? And letting him bring the ball up the court most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think they need to run more, like Jamo said, they need to run more pick and roll stuff. This dribble handoff and just post up and this one-on-one basketball doesn't, it's not conducive to helping the team win. You know what I mean? They're playing more hero ball. And that's the reason why they're not successful. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate to see this as a Knicks fan. It's totally, it's unfortunate. I was hoping to see a good game today. And then to see them to come out like this, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike Breen said, it's mind-boggling because for them to play against Dallas, and me personally, I think the reason why they played good against Dallas was because Marcus Morris, he was hitting his shots early and other people contribute early. Mm-hmm. And today, the Knicks start out the game turnovers, missing too many shots, and defensively, I don't feel like they just made some bad decisions, especially on the pick and roll coverage. And once again, it's with the switching that, I don't know if Fizdale's being told this or this is his defensive philosophies, like Jamo was saying, like he don't, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how can we fix this, and I think it starts a plethora of ways. Like we have to stop featuring Julius Randle as he's the second coming of, he's a superstar all-star player. And we have to stop playing pick and roll basketball. I mean, we have to start playing some more pick and roll basketball. I think we have to simplify it. And defensively, if the guys are not going to play well in terms of guarding the perimeter, they got to at least play this. At least they should go into a zone to do something to mix it up. And I haven't seen that recently.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if this team is smart enough to play zone. I'm just for real. Listen, when you're playing zone, you got certain rotations that you got to make, or your zone is gonna get picked apart easy. And I don't know if we have the guys that can make those rotations on time. You know what I'm saying, to play a zone. I don't know if we do. Julius Randle can't do it. Kevin Knox can't do it.
Yeah, Kevin Knox can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think Frank Trier and Dotson, Morris, they can play the zone. You know what I mean? But we have to figure something out, because teams is, if you every time we deal with teams that has a real good point guard that plays the pick and roll well, that can get into the paint, we struggle. And I think the reason why we won that Dallas game, because Luka Doncic, he was taking these ill-advised threes. You know what I'm saying?
He was wilding a little bit.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, every time team just get in the paint and they shoot these floaters, these layups, that's what happens. I think we may have to go to a zone and have them start outside in. They have to chuck shots from the perimeter instead of getting these these layups and breaking down the defense. I think we may have to start running zone or something. More of a 3-2 zone. And because that defeats the purpose of teams is always running screen and roll, because we're switching everything. They have to get out of that and start running a zone defense. I think they're gonna have to start doing that.
Okay. I mean, I think you can roll. You can do zone defenses a little bit here and there in the NBA. I don't think it can be your base defense, because teams will start shooting. Yeah, I think teams will shoot the lights out of you, especially if you're playing a really good shooting team. Roz, I'm coming to you, Roz. All right, coming to you, my man. I want to know what you think. What you think about this whole situation, man? What's going on? What's happening right now?
What's up? Long time no see, Shaq. What's up, Shaq? What's up, Guillermo? What's up, Mark? What's up, Drew? What's up, Isaiah? Yo, subscribe. Yo, what's up, Sam? I was mentioning to Guillermo that I agree with what he said about the whole conference was just basically a warning, but I don't think it was just now. Mark just mentioned. Well, I just mentioned about how what's that noise? Mike Miller. You know how how we got Mike Miller before the beginning of the season. I feel like that was Steve Mills' pocket like basically emergency or like plan B, because I feel like if we fire Fixdale, Mike Miller would be the best addition. Not Mark Jackson, not any other. A person that is good at developing players. The Westchester Knicks didn't do that bad last year, and he was good at developing McDermott. He was good at developing Luke Cornett. So but overall, it was a terrible loss, a terrible loss.
Yeah, and listen, it all had to do with the energy. That's what everything had to do with. Everything had to do with the energy, man. Big shout out to my man Armando Chico. Thank you for the super chat. He said turnovers and foul line percentage is killing us. Yes, that's killing us. That's killing us without a doubt, especially those foul, making those free throws. We had a couple of games that we could have won if we would have made our free throws. But the energy, man, the energy from game to game, the way it switches from game to game, it really does. It really does kill us.
He's losing the locker room. He's losing the locker room because he doesn't follow what he tells us. He tells us, well, if you earn the minutes, I'm going to give you the minutes. What is Ellington overplaying for if he's doing so bad? Why are you not switching Bobby Portis when you have to? This was not Frank's game, but it's still Frank was not the fault of this game. Like you take off the player and you leave. When I see Randall, when I see Portis, when I see Randall, Morris, and Trier, it's just disaster. I love Trier, but it's like those three players are selfish players. Randall's dribbling, like, my God. So, he's not supposed to be the number one man right now. It's just overall, man, it was it was just it sucked. It sucked. It was a sucky game.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm feeling your pain. Trust me. I'm feeling your pain. We all feeling the same pain right now. Isaiah, coming to you, man. You better have something good to say, man. Don't give me no same stuff we've been talking about. What's up, man?
What's going on, son?
What's going on, man? Tell me what you got to say. It's on you, man. You got the mic.
It's very pathetic, Sim. I mean, I guess to piggyback what Gamma was saying, this is the writing on the wall for Fizz. This was a warning for Fizdale. As we got to see some change, or we're gonna have to let you go sooner or later. Because I mean, you have this coach, you have this team that has no energy. We're the worst free throwing team. We're the worst free throwing team in the league. There's no effort. We got selfish players making running ISO, turnovering the ball like crazy clips. No discipline. I mean, Kevin Knox. Sim. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a bad defender, but is there any coaching that's making him a better defender? I mean, I know you can't be this bad. You know what I'm saying? You can't be this bad at being a defender.
Well, there's some IQ stuff that he has to work on. You know what I'm saying? Like not letting guys go baseline. Some stuff that he's gonna have to practice. You know what I mean?
You know what, Sim? And know what, man? And some of this is on Scott Perry, and I will say Scott Perry and Steve Mills because sometimes this has always been my thing about Scott Perry that I didn't like. I felt like Scott Perry chose athleticism over IQ when it comes to picking the players that he wants on the team. I'm being completely honest with you. I've been having this problem with him since.
Well. I mean, the thing is, you got to try to, because if you have all IQ and no athleticism, you're gonna suck too. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So you got to find a way to mix
extent.
it. You got to find a way to mix it in there. Let me get to a phone call, man. I'll come back to you. All right. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Bruh, what's going on, Sim? It's Justin from Jersey, man. How you, bro?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling, man?
Man, just another game, man. I was listening to you earlier, and I think you hit the nail right on the head, Sim. I think I don't need forget X's and O's, forget plays, forget like schemes, because I don't think the problem is what you can teach the Knicks. I think the problem is what you can't teach them. I think that's the biggest problem. The problem is the effort. The problem is, just fighting for loose balls, just knowing to just have that effort every single play, every single night, every single game. That's the biggest problem because, like you said, I don't know if they're even ready to get to that point to teach a scheme, teach a play, teach this down the field. You could do all those X's and O's. You could do these defenses, but if their mindset is not ready for the effort to put 100% into those plays, into that defense, into that loose ball, that makes a difference. I mean, everything in teaching is going to be pointless. I think that's exactly where we're at right now, and it's pretty sad to watch, too.
At the beginning of the season, David Fizdale said he's got guys now that can retain information. Right? Said last year he didn't have guys, basically said, we didn't have guys that can retain information. Now, they're supposed to have guys that can retain information. Are they retaining it? I don't know. I don't know if they're retaining it or not. I don't know what information is being given to them, right? I don't know what systems or what things are being put in that they have to retain, but they got to bring the energy. You know what I'm saying? And some of that can be on Fizdale. Maybe he hasn't, he didn't do what he needed to do to prepare them. But even if you're not prepared, right? If you have no clue what you're doing on the floor, you have no strategies, nothing put in place, you can bring energy in the game. You can come out with energy.
Yeah,
even if
that's a fact.
And there's almost nothing a coach can do when a team does not come out. Let me tell you something. If you have a player that has really low energy, they might be a decent player. You put them on the floor, but their low energy hurts them. it'll drive you crazy as a coach because there's no way to bring that energy up. There's nothing you can really do. That's that player's personality. That's who they are. Nothing you can do to bring it up. Now, if you have a player that has all kind of energy and is all over the place, you can bring that guy's or lady's energy down, right? You can try to teach that player how to bring it down a little bit and control themselves.
Right.
You know, so it's only so much a coach can do when a team does not come out with the proper energy. And the Knicks struggle with that right now. They struggle with coming out with the proper energy night in and night out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact, because you can't look at a game like Dallas and see the potential and what they can do, what they can be with the offense, you know, with the energy, I should say, with the effort, and come out like that. And honestly, even if the Knicks would have lost that Dallas game, I could take that.
Yes.
Like, I could take that and say, okay, you know, games, you know, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but I can live every night knowing, like, if they give 100% effort, I'm good. See, Sim, I'm 36 years old. I'm relatively young.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was a Knicks fan, I was a Knicks fan in 1992. And during that Knicks era, okay, I mean, the team that I remember, it was Derek Harper, John Starks, Charles Smith, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, and Anthony Mason was 6 men with Greg Anthony. Now, that team was not athletic. You know,
right.
That was not a great jump shot shooting team.
Right.
They were not even running offensive plays, but I'm telling you, Sim, our main offense is kind of what it kind of looked like now. You give it to Ewing in the post, he make it happen, or you kick it out to Starks for 3. Derek Harper, he might make something happen. But on the defensive end, Sim, I mean, from the top starter to the 12th man, I mean, they gave 100% effort on that defense. Pat Riley instilled that in there. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if Brunfeld was the GM or Checkitts or whoever it was, but he made sure he knew it had to be a certain personnel that was tough, that made it was like, yo, teams is coming to the Garden. They're not coming here for a Broadway show to eat these celebrities, and they know the Knicks is food, and we gonna get a win. That's what it is right now. But the teams came in and was shook because they knew it was going to be very physical. The defense was going to be on them, plain and simple. And our offense wasn't even that fancy. You know what I mean? So it kind of feels like it's kind of sad how the drought of that effort, because like I said, again, teams are just coming in. We fooled. Like, even if it's the worst team, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't have an impressive record. They're not an impressive team. But they know coming to New York, oh, it's definitely a chance we can outbeat this team because they don't play the same effort. They know that we fooled, and that's the reputation around the whole league. There's no team to me in the league. I don't care what the record is. I don't think there's no layup wins with any team in the league. Anybody could be anybody on every given night. When I watch other games and other teams play, it just seems like it's just a different pace, a different energy. It's just a skill set and talent. It just beats other teams.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. What do you think about the Steve Mills, Scott Perry press conference?
I like it. I do like it because it is different, and I do think it is a warning shot. Like, I do feel like, with them coming out there, they saying, listen, man, like, we see what's going on. We know what's happening. We're not happy about it. They could have easily brought Fizdale in the office and told him that privately. Told him some situation like, you're good, but yada, 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 things got to change. No, they making it a public. I think it's about a public perception now to say, oh, the boss is out the office, it's a problem. One thing, Sim, like at my job, anybody who works a 9 to 5, no. When you're sitting in the front, the main goal is to keep the bosses in the office, right?
Exactly.
For whatever reason, if the bosses come out the office and it ain't positive, that ain't good, Sim. It's either A, it's going to be changes made, right? B, somebody going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? And I think you got to look at it that way. The bosses is out the office. They could have stayed in the suite. They could have stayed in the suite, Sim, but they came out forefront and said, listen, We're not happy. Yeah, we support the coach, but we're not happy with what's going on. We're not happy with the product. I mean, Fizz, I don't think he's going to sleep tonight. I'm not for firing the coach because we had a conversation before. I am a Fizz fan, but I am looking at applications. I'll just say that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just put it that way. But he got to be on the P's and Q's. I mean, I don't know what his mindset is going to be with the next practice. I don't know with the team. I think it's open season though, Sim. It could be anybody. It could be players. It could be coaches. I think it could be anyone there. They may be saying what they're saying, but trust and believe. Even with Julius Randle saying, yeah, that feels good to hear that. But I mean, he got to look at it too and say, listen, we got to play better. Just last thing, I think the best part about this game, if there's any positive, is the way Mike Breen commentated this game. Because he's usually a guy, he's a Knicks fan. He talks about the positives on both sides. But all I heard was Mike Breen just questioning so much about the Knicks this game. Like, it was crazy. Why are they not playing with the effort? They're just looking embarrassed. Where is the effort? Did you see them in Dallas?
Right.
They just getting outplayed. Like, he just went on and on and on. And Mike Breen is usually neutral, but in this scenario, that's why I'm going back to saying that I think Mills and Perry coming out doing that, they had to do that. So, like, after that, from what we've seen in Dallas, we can't have this type of roller coaster inconsistency and effort, man. It's a problem.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate the call, man, and hopefully it's going to get better in Chicago,
Yeah, man.
But
hopefully I'll call back with Chicago with a win, but
hopefully,
we'll see,
man.
Bro.
But, Chicago's going to come out looking to eat since the Knicks came back down 18 and won that game at the Garden. They're hungry for this one.
Oh, Sim, man. Sim, we both older, man. I mean, you remember when the Knicks win. I mean, if some kids is younger, 20, 21 years old, if they, they might see just a victory and get excited. I mean, do you remember the feeling in the playoffs when we won? How that building shook. That building shakes. Crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I appreciate the call, bro.
Thanks a lot, man, Sim.
Right,
Take it easy, bro.
Later. Yeah, a lot to talk about in the Knicks world, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to another phone call, see what's going on here. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's up, Uncle Sim? Davon, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Davon, man? All right, talk to me, man. What's going on?
Man, I don't know. That press conference kind of threw me off because I know, like, in the analytical world, you kind of break the game down into 10-game segments, but I don't know, the demeanor of Scott Perry, and I don't know if it's somebody gonna get fired or trades or what's going on, but I feel like we need to make a move somehow, and I kind of don't feel like it's Fizdale though. And from my perspective of things, I feel like he ain't really been given a fair shake at things.
You don't think Fizdale's been given a fair shake?
No, just due to the players that they've this offseason decided to get, like 4 power forwards that are all kind of similar. Like every lineup that we put in is very similar to the same lineup that we already have. You know what I mean? There's no okay, Alfred Payton and Frank Ntilikina, they're kind of like the same player. Randall and Morris, they're kind of the same player. Randall and Portis are kind of the same player. Gibson and Portis are kind of like the same player. Like, we don't have a lot of things to mix and match things to, even to mess around with the lineups with. Like, every time we change up the lineup, it's kind of like the same. We're doing the same thing over and over again. And I feel like he's not given a fair shake because of the offensive sets that we see him run. They kind of are kind of like to the strength of what the players that we have, like the systems that we run, the switching, because we don't have the players that can switch, that can play man to man. Like, they don't have the IQ to do those things. And that's why I feel like, that's what I'm trying to say, he doesn't get like a fair shake on things. Like, like I said, like the players don't match. So we have to run this dribble handoff system. We don't have a point guard that can really break down the defense like that, and so we kind of have to. We don't have a real star player to run a offense through. So we kind of have to dribble handoff, give everybody their shots and their chances, and go through the post because the bulk of our players are post players, are players that need to get closer to the basket. So that's why I feel like you haven't given a fair shake in. I think we should be trying to make some type of player move in my perspective.
Okay, and maybe that was the shot that they were sending out there that, hey, you know what I'm saying, if you guys don't get it together, heads might be rolling, and
right. Because
and,
like you said earlier, all the most of the problems that we have is stuff that Fizdale can't. It's not Fizz. I mean, I can't say it's not his fault, but like the lack of intensity and energy, like how the last time I called, I was getting on Randall about his intensity and his energy, and he pulled that on the third quarter. It kind of it kind of upsetted me that he kind of did that.
Yeah. Because you're down 30. You're down 30.
Right.
And then now all of a sudden you can
right. Yeah.
Start doing this and that, playing with energy. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was kind of fake right there. That was kind of fake, and that's at least even though we can say the development of Mitchell Robinson has regressed a little bit, and he's getting these silly fouls. At least he's getting these fouls because he's putting in the effort.
He brings the effort every night.
Yeah, he's hungry to play defense.
But
you know what I mean?
You know what we need? I'm telling you what we need, and I see a lot in the chat where people talking about Chris Paul, and I do agree. And I'm coming to you, Mark. I got you. I do agree that Chris Paul would change a lot with this team. But I just don't like the contract, right? I think he's under contract till 2022, and that's a problem when you're talking about making moves for the future. But the way that he approaches the game, see, I'm telling you what we're missing. These guys are too friendly with each other. There's not a bad guy.
Yeah, we don't have any fire.
Even though Marcus Morris is a tough guy, right? He's not a bad guy. Yeah, he's not the guy in the locker room. I don't think. I don't know. Obviously, I've never been in the locker room with him. But we need one of those guys, like a Chris Paul,
that you kind of don't like. Yeah.
That you kind of don't like. But he's going to demand the respect.
But, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And guys are going to be like, all right, you know what? I don't want to hear Chris Paul's mouth. So, I'm going to do what I got to do. We need one of those guys, and we do not have them.
Right, because we don't have a guy like that. We don't have a guy who's like a Montrezl Harrell who plays with just super amounts of energy all the time. We don't have a guy who maybe like somebody who's like a highlight who gives you, might cross somebody, might, get the team pumped up, nice dunks, you know what I mean? Plays like we don't have anything to players like that to even give to players like Knox, who might be a little,
because Chris Paul is the kind of guy, Chris Paul is the kind of guy that he doesn't care if the cameras are watching. He don't care when it is on the floor. If he's got something to say, he's going to say it, and he will get in your face, and he'll let you know in the locker room too. But these guys need that type of guidance out there.
Right.
There's too much patting each other on the butt. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple guys. I think Taj Gibson, maybe you've seen him, get upset that, guys not making the right rotations or something like that. Chris Paul really, 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 really would straighten these guys out, and he's a point guard, but his contract, man, geez. But I think he would. And I'm going to tell you what, if you get a Chris Paul on this team, there's talent. There is talent on this team.
Yeah, it's talent.
There is talent on this team.
We have the players, like Knox. Knox isn't, because we're searching for a star player right now. We're searching for somebody that can fill KP's role, to be honest. But, Knox, he would be a great spot-up shooter right now. He work on his defense, and then he could be a great role player. Ntilikina, if he can get a little bit more aggressive, keep the offensive consistency. We see that he's a defensive, one of the one of the better defensive players in the league. You know, definitely on the team, but in the league at guarding the point guards. He's a good piece. RJ is a good piece. Mitchell Robinson, a good defense. We have the talent. We're just missing that
Missing that
leadership
fire,
and
man.
that
Missing
every
that.
somebody that we can actually run the offense through and control the defense. Like that's what we're missing.
Yeah. Hey, Davon, man, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna get to Mark. I know Mark got some things he want to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right,
I'm
man.
gonna be listening in.
No doubt. Appreciate
Right,
it. Peace.
Yep.
Mark, I'm coming to you right now, bro. Coming to you right now. First things first, I want to ask you, and I know his contract is ridiculous. So
Sim, I just said it. Bring him here to me, because this organization needs someone to put a nail to create a style to come to work. Come do your job. I don't care what Chris Paul contract is. Get me him, because he just does what is necessary. The Knicks are in a position that's why the Chris Paul will be great for us, because we're in no position to even think about any other star.
Mm-hmm.
He could help us down the road to acquire or want players to come and play, because if Chris Paul came in, he's going to change the culture. He's going to make players better. He's going to make players better. Even the guys we got. He's going to make Knox into a great shooter, because he's going to get them open. Look at Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. I did not know he could score like this. And he's a scoring machine now. Get me Chris Paul. I don't care about that contract, because I'm not even confident enough that we're going to get anybody in free agency that's significant to even Chris Paul talent.
Well, definitely not this summer. This summer we're definitely not going to get anyone in free agency. Now, if you talk about 20 to 21,
Sim, the only guy that's there,
I don't know, but
the only guy that's there that's really, really available is Giannis. I looked at that.
Right.
It ain't nobody like Rudy Gobert. I believe he's going to stay on Utah. Bradley Beal, he doesn't sign a contract, so he can go anywhere now.
So you would take I'm gonna look at his contract real quick. All right, I'm not exactly sure where it is. His contract is what?
We will have him for this year, next year,
and a year afterwards. I think it's 2022.
Go look at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to look at. I think his contract goes till 2022, and he's getting paid some mega money. All right.
I know, bro, people will follow his lead, and I told you, by Julius Randle getting paid like that and having to go out there as the face, we're not getting that energy in the beginning of the game. I told you, yo, listen, it's like we don't have no type of energy. And I watch Randle.
Okay, one second.
Energy have to go through your best player, man.
I hear you. Okay, listen to me now. I'm about to read off. I'm gonna bring this over here, but I'm about to read off. I'm about to read off Chris Paul's contract, and I see you smiling already, Mark, because you already know.
Listen, man.
You already know. But here we go. This is Chris Paul's contract. Okay. This year, 2019, 2020, Chris Paul makes $38,506,482. Okay. We're not done. In 2020, 2021, he makes $41,358,814. Okay? In 2021, 22, he has let me see what this is.
Option.
He has a player option for $44,211,146. That's a lot of money that we're paying
but Sam,
in 2021-22, man.
Even when I watch tonight, man, we need a leader on the floor, dogs. Sim, when I mean a leader, we need someone that I don't care. Listen, I'll take Chris Paul. I like how he deal with players when he's on the floor, because it's business, man. It's business. He comes to try to win, man. The Knicks. I need consistency when I watch the Knicks. That's what bothers me the most, is that we don't have the level of consistency. And I think just implementing Chris Paul into this atmosphere, just because it's going to just be for now and future references to when we really start. And we still could build with Chris Paul and just add stuff with him. So add stuff, because again, we have young players. So the younger the players I got, it's not going to make Chris Paul look bad. But Chris Paul, even when you watch him at Oklahoma, he don't look like the main guy. He's allowing Shane Alexander to be like the main scorer, Gallo. He's letting people eat, but he's organizing. He's making sure that when he's on the floor, this is how we coming. We need consistency on the floor. And I just look at that free agent pool. It's like, yo, bro, that Chris Paul contract is bothering me. It's to a point I need someone with consistency, because
I get it. It's just
let me say one thing.
The only thing, this is what I asked. Okay, check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. This is what I asked. Okay, so let's say Chris Paul. Let's say that they did trade for Chris Paul, right? And if they traded for Chris Paul, then in 2000, let me find it again. In 2021,
yeah,
right, the Knicks would pay him $41 million. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you got the summer of 2021 where he's not a free agent. He has a player option. That's the summer. That's the summer that the Knicks would have money. I don't know how much, right? I'm not exactly sure how much. We'd have to look at the calculations and everything. But it wouldn't be enough. If you had Chris Paul, I guess maybe you would have enough to sign one more person. You'd really have to make some moves, right? Do you think having Chris Paul in the summer of 21, that you can still pick up a player like a Giannis?
Because this is our dilemma, Sim. You want to say something? Even now, how we look, and next year, we have to show a competence.
Yes, I know. I get
We
it.
have to show competence.
I get it.
So you have to, bro, sometimes you have to bite the bullet. You have to bring in someone that could change the culture on the floor of how we bring it every night. Because what I told you, Sim, I said, if we don't come out how we came in the Dallas game, we will lose to Cleveland because they run shit. They look like a competent team. I just want to look like that. I just want to look like, I don't care if we lose, but as long as we look competent, as long as we go out looking like dogs, not going out looking like suckers.
I feel you.
You know what's so crazy? We was hitting shots in that Dallas game where tonight we wasn't hitting because we had open shots. Marcus Morris had 29, he had 9 tonight. That's why with this team, and I watched Julius Randle in the third quarter, all of a sudden you want to assert yourself. He cannot do that if you're going to lead these young guys.
And listen, I'm telling you, Chris Paul would not let that happen.
Chris Paul,
he really would.
That's why James Harden got rid of him, because
he would not let that happen.
James Harden don't like to be James Harden don't like to be tell what to do.
Yeah, this would
look at that.
Definitely be a different team, and not to mention a great guy for our young point guards.
Bro, if you want Kevin Knox to shoot 40 from 3, he will get Kevin Knox to look so great.
Yeah, right. But listen, you're talking about Frank, Dennis Smith Jr., right? Let's just say that we're looking at those two guys as our future guards, right? Frank, Dennis Smith Jr. You have a Chris Paul here to train those guys how to be point guards, train those guys how to bring it every night, train those guys how to be leaders. That would be big, but man, that $44 million.
And one thing with Chris Paul, Sim, even if he's not scoring, the dude passes and play defense and call out things to help our defense.
Yeah.
This guy is a savant, man. We need somebody that could change the culture on the floor, man. It is bad. It is bad.
I get you, man. I get you. That $44 million, Mark. Let me tell you something. Money, brother. That's a lot of money. 44 mil, man.
It is a lot, but bro. Sometimes you have to sacrifice, man. You have to sacrifice to do right for this organization to look competent, to even have all-stars commit to us. Because If we just out here developing these young guys, these all-stars not going to want to come. You see how they are now. LeBron got these dudes wired now the right way.
Chris Paul, ladies and gentlemen, is, let me see, how
That's
old is
something to
Chris
think
Paul?
about. I'm not saying I would do it. I would think about it.
You would think about it. Okay. How
But
old is
it'll be
Chris
a tough
Paul?
swallow to pill. But if I know what I'm getting from Chris
A tough
Paul,
pill to swallow.
if I know what I'm getting from Chris Paul every night, I'm fine with it, man.
So
And that's
Chris
a player.
Paul is, he was born in 85, and something just popped up on the screen. He was born in 85.
Sorry, Guamo, we need CP3, bro.
Well, he's what? 34 years old?
Yeah.
34 years old, man. By the time his contract is up, he's what, 37 years old? Oh, man, Mark. I don't know.
You know what's so crazy, though, bro?
I don't know, bro.
Sam.
I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a lot. I don't know,
But
man.
Sam,
That's a lot. You're paying $44 million. You're paying $44 million with someone who's 37. His skill set is already dropping.
That is a lot of money, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Let me ask you before I go. I'm gonna get to a phone call soon, but I want to ask you, what do you take of this Steve Mills stepping out and talking?
Bro, when I came in the chat, Guamo had to tell me. What did they say exactly? Let me know.
I'm gonna tell you. This is what Steve Mills said. He said, you know, it's 10 games, so we felt like because it was 10 games that we had to step out and talk, you know, and I'm like, okay, it's 10 games, so you got to step out.
It just came on my TV just now.
Right. And he said that they're not happy with the way the team is playing. They're not playing up to their expectations, but they stand 100% behind the coach and what's going on, but they are not happy with where the team is right now.
All right, check it. This is a plus and it's a minus at the same time, right? Because I like that they're concerned and they make the coach concerned. I think that's more to the players than the coach first. I think it's the players first and then coach, because they have to go out there and play with energy. And they have games where they come out first quarter and we get thumped. So it could be to the players first, telling them, listen, shaping up, or else when December 15th, you're going to be on that block, and I'm looking to get rid of some of you guys because, again, players can hurt the coach and hurt the team for people that's looking at the team. So it could be one, the players, then the coach. But I like that they're concerned to a certain extent because, again, they're trying to change the outlook on the Knicks.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, let me get to a phone call, Mark. I'm gonna come back to you. Let you think about it a minute. Let me get to a phone call, all right? All right. Let me get to this. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's pop?
Hello, Sam.
Hey, Jamila, what's going on, man?
Listen, man, I just want to let you know that I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm so aggravated I can't even go to sleep.
Oh man, you can't let them do it to you, JP. You gotta get that sleep, man.
Listen. So first of all, I don't even know where to start. Now, this is not the first time the front office has had a press conference. I believe a couple games after the season. They've done it before, and I'm at the point where, listen, we got blown out last week by Sacramento at home. With a young, a young team that you could say that's on the same level of ours, right? We got blown out at home versus the Cavs against a rookie head coach from college. If we barely beat the Bulls, it's just like, it's how we're losing these games. I understand that we may be lacking talent or whatever, but this team is not playing hard. They are not playing hard. And the front office sees that. We see it. Whether they're not utilizing their rotations properly. I mean, let's be honest, half the starting lineup is playing because of injuries, not because they deserve to play. I understand. I agree with Tony that it's not a good look that we should fire Fizdale after the second season. But I'm telling you, and I like you. I was for this guy. I don't think he's the right coach. And what the front office needs to ask themselves is, we know that he's not the right coach. Should he have to continue to stay here as a result of the sins of the past of the front office with the way they've been handling coaches? When you look at the Suns, look at the Suns. The Suns have the same type of level we do. Look at the Suns.
Yeah.
Look how these young players, look how these young teams are playing. When you look at the Pelicans, we don't have. It's not like we're not injury riddled. You have these teams that on the same level of the same level we are. You can argue who has a better talent, but they play hard. This team does not play hard. And they have the nerve to be sitting here and want to play up to competition. They can't do that. And this head coach wants to be everyone's friend. We need somebody. This is unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable to the fans. They have to answer the fans. And we don't know what they deal with on a regular basis. I could imagine, the fans calling them and ripping them during the day. They deserve it. So my question to you is now, you said what you said, because at this point, I don't care what the front office says. What are you going to do if, and this week could be a bloodbath, because we probably will lose to the Bulls, because to be honest with you, when you look at the Bulls, right? The only reason why we beat them is because we went 15-0.
We got hot. Right. We got hot.
Bobby Portis had to have the game of his life in order to win. When you look at that Bulls, remember when the Bulls hired Jim Boylan in the first place? People were complaining. Players were calling into the Players Association to complain about how he was a hard ass. And look how they're playing. When you see these young guys, these teams that's on the same level as you, and they playing hard. They may not be playing smart, but they playing hard. That says something, because at least I could say, you know what? This team plays hard. I can see the offensive side of the ball. I can see what he's doing defensively. We're just lacking talent. That's not the case here, because I don't think he's running anything offensively. He's not running anything defensively, and whatever is happening, it's by accident. You know what? It's not like you can say, okay, well, we did this in Dallas well, so we can continue doing this, but we could take this out. You know what I mean? It's just by accident. Everything is happenstance.
I feel you.
And if we can see it plain as day, you're a coach. I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? They see it. They have to see it.
So
it's so frustrating, man.
It is.
Look at the Suns. Look at the Suns, and they don't even have Ayton. Look at the Suns. Look at the Pelicans. These dudes is playing hard. The Cavs blew us out. Sacramento blew us out at home.
I don't mean to laugh, but the Cavs blew us out.
Oh my goodness.
The Cavs blew us out. The Cavs had a 30-point lead on us.
Yes, and last week the Suns, Sacramento, the same thing. How do you not come out playing hard? And the thing about this New York sports in general, right? When you look at Victor Cruz, just the little guy. You don't have to have talent in this. Yes, talent goes a long way. When you have the Xavier McDaniels, the John Starkses, the Anthony Masons, these dudes, the Chris Childs, they play hard. All we ask for is just play hard. That's it. Play hard. This shit is ridiculous, man.
I hear you. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
These players get on my nerves. It's like, okay, so last year we were tanking, so fine. But you see this year, no excuses. I didn't expect them to win all them games. I didn't even expect. I'd even put a number as far as the wins. I just wanted to see better basketball. Offense, defense, the coach. I don't know what to say about him. He's trying to be everyone's friend. This is crazy.
And I'm going to tell you.
How do you start the beginning of a game flat? This is a young basketball team. They're not old.
I'm with you. And listen,
this shit is ridiculous.
With Fizdale, that was one of the main things in the beginning when he first came. and he took Damian Dotson, whoever he took him to, the Celtics playoff game. I was like, okay, I get it. But I started to have some concerns then, about his, being too friendly with the guys and stuff like that. And I still think that's a problem.
This dude is like a used car salesman. My whole thing is this. The bad problem with this is this. They're not holding the players accountable. When Julius Randle is playing and he's turning the ball over like 9 times and you continue to have him playing, when you have Morris playing, like when these guys are not playing well, put the young guys in the game. Give me Knox, because at least I could say the young guys. I'm lost for words. This is crazy.
I hear you.
I'm not going through this shit again. I understand what Mark is saying with the whole Chris Paul is not the answer. He wants the type of player like that Chris Paul represents, but that contract is outrageous.
Crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy contract.
I don't know what.
It's a crazy contract.
It is. And you know what? You can't blame Dolan with this because obviously he's gonna get blamed for it. But this is just you hold these. I don't care how much money Julius Randle's making. When he's not playing well, you sit his ass on the bench. When Morris is not playing well, you sit them on the bench. The thing about it with Fizdale, I always felt like I thought he had the ability to. Yes, you need to be able to be friendly with your guys. But when it's time to be a hard ass, it's time to be a hard ass. And I really thought that would be the case, considering that he's coming from the Pat Riley tree. I don't know what to say about this guy anymore. So what would you do at this point? What the press conference, in your opinion, was what?
I'm not sure what that press conference was. I don't know what it meant. I in some ways, I feel like it was 2 things. One, wanting the fans to feel like we still support Coach Fizdale, but also letting Coach Fizdale know we're not happy. And we have some expectations, and you're not meeting my expectations. I also heard Coach Fizdale's interview, and he sounded a little testy too. So I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know. I don't know what the next move is, because listen, we're still, you're still paying Jeff Hornacek maybe. I'm not sure if they're still paying him. Maybe Phil Jackson. So if you fire Coach Fizdale, now you're still paying him.
And to be honest with you, Fizdale's contract is 4 years, not 3.
4 years.
So yeah, it's 4 years.
4 years. So. And
I think this year is the last year for Phil Jackson, and I guess that's the same thing with Hornacek.
Yeah.
And I understand it looks bad to fire coaches, but are we supposed to let him stay because of the sins of the past? I can't watch his stupid face anymore. Like, he just doesn't get angry. And let's not even talk about the Knicks. I'm a Jets fan too, and I got to deal with Adam Gase and his stupid face. I can't take it anymore.
I hear you.
I literally, as far as the Jets concerned, I wanted the quarterback to play well, but I wanted your team to really hand it to us because I want this guy to go so bad. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, we didn't do you any favors then. You know what I'm saying? The Giants didn't do you any favors. But AJP, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your sleep.
No problem, man. Have a good night, man.
It's 12:17. You got to get up early, so you better go ahead and get that sleep. Don't let this team stress you out like that. All right.
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Knicks fans, we on fire tonight, man, because I know how you guys feel. Let me get another call in. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sam, how you doing? This is Bruce. This is my first time calling in.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Yeah, I just have been enjoying your show for about a year or so, listening to the chat, and appreciate guys you had on there like Gamro, and haven't heard Aunt G in a while. I usually like a lot of what he has to say. But
yeah, Aunt G, he comes in and out every once in a while. It's not, every once in a while he comes in and out.
Right. Yeah. I on that press conference, I do think there's definitely at least a warning to Fizz. Personally, I think it's time for him to go. Not that I'm one of these people that's just quickly just say that any coach should go, but with the way he's been coaching, I don't think he's really going to get that much better because I think he's learning on the job, but probably too slow. I think we're going to get this. I don't think he's going to be the coach of the future. So the way I see it, you might as well get rid of him now. And
if you do get rid of him, who you going to get? Who you bringing in? Are you just going to let Mike Miller step up while you do a coaching search?
I could see doing that maybe temporarily, but I was always a Mark Jackson fan, somebody that would come in there and put in a system, especially defensively, but we obviously need the offensive system as well, which I think he would do. So that's probably where I would go. I wasn't really with Fizz, the whole hiring of Fizz, but I kind of warmed up to him a little bit in the beginning. But I just think he's been making too many changes, and I think a lot of the players, are kind of, are starting to react in a negative way. One player in particular, one of my favorite players on the team, Alonzo Trier. When I look at him now, he's not the same guy. I think a lot of people say he doesn't pass enough and all that. I think now he probably is. I can see that he's trying to pass almost too much for what he's really used to. He's a bucket getter, and I kind of, at one time I thought maybe he could be a starter, but I kind of settled into I think he'd be a great six man, and just to come in off the bench and just get buckets, and I think Fizdale by now should have been able to see that's the best role for him. And I think he should be playing 20 to 25 minutes a game, especially now when we're struggling to score in a lot of places. Then I also look at RJ. I think RJ's been phenomenal. He's been far better than I thought he was going to be, because I actually was a Darius Garland guy. I was, if we didn't get John Moran, I was like, I kind of wanted us to get, Garland. But now I really like RJ. But I think, he's struggling a little bit now. I think a lot of it's kind of just the natural progression of things. I think a lot of teams are kind of had scouting, got the scouting report on him. And, I know in the beginning it seemed like, I was thinking, gosh, teams should know not to let him go left. But it seemed like they were letting him go left. But now it's not happening so much anymore. And, he's crafty. He's got length. But I think his athleticism is not elite at the NBA level. So now, it's just tougher. So he's going to have to figure out better ways to score, and obviously make his free throws.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm looking forward to when the Knicks get another coach, because I think once we get to where we got a solid set rotation, I think players will kind of play. I think it'll help players play harder because they know what to expect, what's going to happen for them, what their role is. And I still look at Alonzo Trier as a very good example, because when I look at him now, watch him play lately, he seems a little unsure of himself. More so than he's usually a guy that's very confident, goes in there, attacks the basket. I still see flashes of that, but it's not the same guy. I don't know if you see that, but he just doesn't like the same.
Yeah, I do agree with you. He's a little bit. He's thinking a little bit more, about trying to, be that facilitator and those type of things. I said from the beginning of the season, just let him play. Now teach him how to get to the basket without taking so many dribbles, but just let him go out and do what he does, which is scoring. That's his best attribute, and let him go out and play to his strengths. Instead of trying to turn him into a point guard, because he's not. So,
exactly. I totally agree with you.
Not.
And I think back on that good year that Mike Woodson, I think it was his first year as coach, and the Knicks did really well. One of the things about him, he settled into a rotation real early, and he kind of just locked into it the whole year. And I think the guys really responded to that. He had, JR as a sixth man, got him pumped up on that early in the season. And and the guys pretty much, even where we had James, I think it was James White, he always started him. He didn't play a whole lot, but he started in the game for that defensive presence. And I think Fizdale has had enough time that he should have figured out a solid rotation.
Yeah. Well, we'll
so
see.
anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. I appreciate you listening in, and we're going to get Aunt G back in the chat. I know Aunt G is probably listening in, so Aunt G, we need you back in the chat, man. Come back in and talk to us.
All right, bless you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Care.
Have a good one. Peace. Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. Make sure you smash that like button. Smash it right now. And excuse me if if you get any kind of interruption with the stream right now. I'm not at home in my regular studio. So for those who are new, this is not my regular studio. You will get to see my regular studio tomorrow night, because I'll be on live tomorrow night doing a pre-game preview, the Knicks vs. Chicago game preview. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can be notified. If you're on Sportscaster, follow me on Sportscaster. Okay, if you're on Sportscaster, you can also follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my channel on YouTube. All right, and if you guys are on YouTube, follow me on Sportscaster. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as we get some things moving over there with Sportscaster, we'll be doing some special events there at Sportscaster. Okay, I do want to give a couple of shout outs to some super chat guys that gave me some super chats. Armando Chico, who said, I think Morris is a better number one option than Julius Randle. At the moment, he is. But of course, he's not at that level where his bad nights are 15, 16, 17 points. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the kind of player that everyone is looking for, where when they have a bad night, they're still giving you 17. When Morris has a bad night, he gave us what, 9 tonight? And if you're a number one option, I mean, you're going to have games like that. But, I get what you're saying, though. He is right now a better number one option than Julius Randle. And Nothinbutknicks, you said, thank you, Isaiah. Someone had to say it. Whatever Isaiah said earlier, it's hard for me to think that you're agreeing with Isaiah. But, cool. That's all good. The Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they lost in embarrassing fashion to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was not pretty. And you can rewind this and go look at some of the highlights, when I first came on. But it wasn't pretty tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks, they shot 36% from the field, 29% from three. They only shot 64% from the free throw line. But guess what? We're used to that, right? We're used to the Knicks shooting a bad percentage from the free throw line, and it's definitely something that we've got to fix, something that we've got to get together, because that can't continue. It just can't continue. You cannot continue to shoot 65% from the free throw line and think you're going to be a winning team. All right, the Knicks did grab 52 boards. That was one of my key to the games, that we had to battle on the boards with Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love. So we won the rebound battle. But we didn't shoot well enough to win anything else. Just didn't. And then we turned the ball over 21 times tonight. 21 times. Knicks had more turnovers than they had assists. 21 turnovers, 19 assists. The Knicks almost, for a minute there, the Knicks had more turnovers than they had field goals made. There was a point in the game where they had more turnovers than shots made. And even still, the Knicks only made 31 shots and they had 21 turnovers. The Cavs shot 43.9%. And there was a point in the game where the Cavs were only shooting 42%. And they were beating us by 30, ladies and gentlemen. They were shooting 42%, beating us by 30. And they ended the game shooting 43.9% from the field, 28.6% from three, and 90.3% from the free throw line. They took 31 free throws tonight. They made 28 of them. They grabbed 45 rebounds, 20 assists, 11 steals, 2 blocks, and only 14 turnovers. They came into the game averaging 14.1 turnovers per game. They only had 14 turnovers, so they did what they did. take a look at the box scores real quick as we run through the game, and be on the lookout tomorrow morning. You'll get a chance to see the you'll get a chance to see a video I'll put out, and it'll have highlights of the game, and then it'll also have some interviews from players and coaches. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. All right, it should, early tomorrow morning. Man, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Love, he had 17 points, 8 rebounds. Cedi Osman, he had 5 points. He was open from 3 a lot. He just didn't knock him down. Tristan Thompson had 9 points, 9 rebounds. But Colin Sexton was the guy. Colin Sexton had 31 points. He shot 62.5% from the field. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, right from the beginning of the game. All right, the Knicks started turning the ball over early. We didn't even take advantage of the size of Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. We didn't even take advantage of the size. We have guards. Frank Ntilikina, 6'7". R.J. Barrett, 6'7". We didn't post him up once. Jordan Clarkson, he had 17 points. Larry Nance Jr. had 9 points, 9 rebounds. Kevin Porter Jr. had 6 points, 4 rebounds. Matthew Dellavedova, he played 11 minutes. He had no points. Tyler Cook had 2 points. For the Knicks, beginning with Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, played 31 minutes. Julius Randle decided to turn it on in the third quarter. He had 9 points in the third quarter. He had 20 points and 16 rebounds. But it was a little bit too late. Got to turn that on from the beginning of the game, not the third quarter. Not when you're down 30. That was a farce. Taj Gibson, he played 17 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds. R.J. Barrett was trying to get back on track. He didn't. He had 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 1 steal. He played the lowest amount of minutes that he's played all season. R.J. Barrett only played 24 minutes tonight. Might be something to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Might be something to watch. Frank Ntilikina, he played 34 minutes. He had 4 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He only took 4 shots on the night. He had 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Damian Dotson played 21 minutes. He had 10 points. Was 4 for 11 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Bobby Portis, he played 28 minutes. He had 4 points, 11 rebounds. Kevin Knox, defensively, he was atrocious. Jordan Clarkson was taking advantage of him. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He only shot 22% from the field. Kevin Knox did. Alonzo Trier, he played 15 minutes. He had 13 points in those 15 minutes. It was 5 for 5 from the field, 5 for 5 from the field, and 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. He also had 1 rebound and 2 assists. He also had 3 turnovers. Wayne Ellington played 8 minutes. He didn't do much. Iggy, he got to play 4 minutes tonight. He had 2 points. That's the story of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, look forward to seeing, the post-game highlights and interviews, full game highlights. You'll get a chance to see those tomorrow, all right, or later on today, whatever. So just look for the video. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Look for the video. All right. Next, the Knicks play Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. They play the Chicago Bulls, a team that we beat at the Garden just a couple of weeks ago. We were down 18. We came back and we won the game. Exciting game. Bobby Portis played one of his best game as a Knick. What's going to happen? Do we go to Chicago? Can we win in Chicago? Coming to a caller, then I'm going to come back to the video chat. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's pop?
Hey, man, thanks for taking my call. I really enjoyed the show.
Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
And the fact that you're still on, I made it off the train from the Garden to my house, and you're still rolling, made me very happy.
All right.
So,
yeah, still here, man. I'm getting off in about 10 minutes, but yeah, we still here.
Well, good. Well, thanks for giving me a couple of seconds to vent. Your last 2 callers had different positions, but they're saying the same thing. We need to change. I have to tell you, the place tonight was electric. And who would think that a game where you're walking in 2-7 and you're playing another team that's not playing very well could be electric? And I just feel like, the fans are just starving for something. And I think, Friday night we thought that we were getting something. And to come out this flat, I don't know who you could lay it on other than Fizdale, And, you talk about the stats. I thought the biggest stat when you were showing the box score, and it can be a tricky stat, but look at Morris, -28 plus minus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tricky stat because, it's not always him. But, I found it striking after the game. He had some, statements where he was agreeing with the front office about the team not, being flat or whatever he was saying. I got to be honest with you. I was in the stadium tonight. My man did not mark anyone. Okay? He was marking no one this evening. And while he got some boards, he did not get any big rebounds this evening. He did not defend this evening. And he's a 4. I know he likes to play out on the wing. He's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to defend. And that's what it comes down to regarding Fizdale as a unit. I understand that the crutch is going to be, like tonight he says, I'm not going to make excuses, and then he makes an excuse. I found that fascinating. But, they're new. They're just putting the team together. The team is new. Listen, 2 things should always be there. And I don't care if I got 5 guys in Rucker Park. I could get them, if they want to defend and to rebound. Okay, I understand it's going to take a while to put the offensive system in. And we were kind of cold there in the second quarter. I mean, what we have, like 38 points in the first half? So yeah, I understand that. And I can live with that. I think any Knicks fan or any basketball fan can live with that. But I thought, even though I did not understand why the team was so out of balance by bringing in so many forwards, but I thought, hey, at least we're going to board, we're going to defend. And while I know you said that rebounding wasn't the problem, watching that game this evening, every time we needed a big board, we didn't get it.
Okay, I got you.
So I agree with you there. So that was just my opinion about the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Something has to happen, and I understand, like the young lady mentioned earlier, you can't have how many coaches you can have the payroll who aren't coaching. I understand that. And I don't know Mr. Fizdale, maybe behind the scenes, he's getting into these guys. But I agree with the woman earlier as well. I don't need him to be their friend. I understand the new NBA, you got to deal with players differently. But I'll tell you what, it's not too much to expect them to defend and to board. And you touched on the free throws. This is not the first night they've been bad with free throws. You know what I'm saying? You remember going down, we were going down the stretch in Dallas, and I was sitting there. I almost spilled my drink on myself 5 times because we couldn't hit a free throw coming down the stretch. Thank you for taking my call. I look forward to continue to follow you, and I wish you a continued success. You're a huge Knicks fan. You give a real outlet to people who are really genuine fans, and I really appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to keep following you and keep up the good work. Have a great night.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks play the Bulls next game. What's that, Tuesday night? I think they play the Bulls Tuesday night. Let's take a look back. Take a look back at the last game when the Knicks beat the Bulls at the Garden. The Knicks were down 18 in that game, ladies and gentlemen, and they came back to win the game 105-98. This was Monday, October the 28th. All right, the Knicks came back and they beat the Bulls on that night. The Knicks got down early in the first quarter, 33-15. All right, they came back in that second quarter. They kept fighting. They came back in that second quarter, 27-19. This was at the point where the Knicks were a team, and look, it's still early in the season, but the Knicks were a team that kept fighting. Came back and they won that second quarter, 27-19. They won the third quarter, 30-28. They won the fourth quarter, 33-18. They won the game, 105-98. We were excited. We thought, okay, you know what? Maybe it just took the first 3 games for them to get it together. And look, the first 3 games of the season, they battled it out with the Spurs, had a lead in the fourth quarter. They battled it out with Brooklyn, had a lead in the fourth quarter. They were leading Boston in the home opener at halftime. Then the Celtics blew it to smithereens. in the second half. But then they beat Boston, and we were like, okay. I mean, then they beat Chicago, and we're like, okay. Maybe, you know, it just took a little time. But you see where we are now. Anyway, looking back at this game. That was the score of the game, 105-109. The Knicks were down 18, and they came back to beat the Chicago Bulls behind a monster night by Bobby Portis. The biggest lead by the Bulls at that night was 18. The biggest lead by the Knicks was 7. The Knicks grabbed 63 rebounds that night, 25 offensive rebounds, 38 defensive rebounds. They had 19 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks, and 17 turnovers. Yet still, the Knicks only shot 41.8% from the field. See, when you shoot this bad from the field, you've always got to rely on someone to have a monster game in order for you to win. Guillermo points this out all the time. The Knicks shot 31% from 3 that night and still 62.5% from the free throw line. The Bulls are 42.4%, 25.7% from the three-point line, and 81% from the free throw line. The Bulls only grabbed 38 rebounds. They had 19 assists, 6 steals, 5 blocks, and 9 turnovers. Can we do it again? Listen, the Bulls are going to be motivated to beat us. They're going to be motivated to beat us. Let's take a look at the box score of that game. All right, when you look at the box score of that game, Lauri Markkanen, he had 18 points that night, 6 rebounds. Zach LaVine, he had 21 points, 5 rebounds. Satoransky, he didn't do much. Thaddeus Young, he had 15 points. You know, not many other guys did anything. Right now, the Bulls have, I think, 3 wins. The Knicks, we have 2. But listen, they're not a good team. But they're a team that's going to be motivated to beat us because of what we did. Right? Marcus Morris, he had 10 points that night. Julius Randle had 13 points, 14 rebounds. He also had 8 turnovers. This is when, Fizdale was really trying to force this point forward thing on Julius Randle. RJ Barrett had 19 and 15. RJ Barrett hasn't been playing the same, though, since he hasn't been playing the same lately. And we don't know, if it's just because he's a rookie or if he's getting tired. Elfrid Payton played. He played 20 minutes at 3 points. Frank Ntilikina, he played 22 minutes, no points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Kevin Knox had a good game, 14 points. Bobby Portis was the man of the night. He had 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Obviously, he was motivated because that was his old team. Right? So obviously, he was motivated to play. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is a game that I think we need. We definitely need, man. We need all of them. We what else can I say? We need all of them, man. I hope we can come out against the Bulls and play well and get us a win. I'm going to come here to the video chat, man. I want to find out what you guys think about us playing the Bulls, and can we respond, get us a win, and then I'm taking it out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Guillermo, I'm coming to you, man. And, a lot's been said. I know you've probably heard, a lot that we've been talking about. One, would you? Mark says he would go get Chris Paul. Would you?
No. Look, Chris Paul is probably one of the best basketball minds still playing. But the guy's 37. He's injury prone.
34.
He could be a locker room.
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he 34? I said 37. My bad.
He's 34.
35. He's younger than
37.
LeBron. He came 2 years after LeBron, 2005. I apologize.
Yeah, he'll be 37 when his contract is up.
Right. To me, man, look, I love him. I love watching him as a player just because he's so smart and cerebral, but he's not what we need right now. And if you brought him in with Fizdale and in the front office, he would cause so much division. We don't need that.
I think so.
Yeah, everywhere he's gone, because he's that prickly of a person, and he's also like the head of the Players Association. This is a guy who I think that after he leaves this team or retires, whatever, he's going to be in a league in a role that's, with some power, whatever. And I think he's trying to establish himself is that he's not necessarily well liked by other players in the league, which is weird because he's the head of Players Association.
Yeah, but see, I tend to think that he has the type of attitude that these guys on this team need. Someone that's going to get in their butt
1,000%. I will love him as a coach. Don't want him as a player. Because there's a difference, right? If he had the same talent but in the mind of a Jared Jack, because also you also need patience with these guys, right? You know, when you had Jimmy Butler last year, I agree with Jimmy Butler's sentiment when he was on the Timberwolves, but his approach was not the right way because you're dealing with a different. Jimmy Butler comes from the Jordan mindset: work hard, grind hard, no excuses, negative reinforcement. But a lot of these guys come from positive reinforcement. You got to do this, you got to do that. So, are you trying to just sound right, or are you trying to be effective? There's a difference, right? So, I think Chris Paul, as good as his natural talent is, you know, he's the type of guy he might cause some divisions and stuff like that. But as a coach, I wouldn't mind him at all. But you know, with this, and also the contract, it's just absurd.
Yeah, it's a crazy contract.
That's a
Crazy
mistake the Houston Rockets made, and they switched that out to the Thunder for Westbrook. Let them deal with that. We have some flexibility. Let's keep the flexibility. You know, even though Fizzo may not be the long-term coach, let's still continue on the path of slowly trying to build up a team through the draft, through smart free agents. I know it's going to sound ironic just because, you know, free agents now suck, but are not doing so great. But you know, let's take the slow route. Let's not. Every time the Knicks slowly build up a nice little foundation, we crumble it all just to bring in a free agent. So let's try to build the right way.
All right. Knicks Bulls.
Absolutely not. That
What's up?
sounds like a loss. But again, last time I said we lost, we were going to lose, we won. But again, you know, this is why I say we lose, right? How many times can you get up emotionally to play a game? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd be really pissed if Portis has like another breakout game because it'll be like, are you serious, dude? Do we have to play a former team of yours for you to wake up? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, man, like you have the talent. Be consistent. Show, even if you're not doing well on offense, show me something on defense. Show me, you know, the first half of the Celtics game where you were active on the boards and things like that nature. But this Knicks team right now, we don't really have much resolve. And then I don't know if you heard it, but Ross pointed out that they were talking about this on NBA, the NBA channel, NBA TV, and they were saying like, oh, you know how, you know, they probably should have kept that stuff in house, the stuff with Fizdale or with the GM coming out and blase blase blase. So right now, you know, things could be in really weird troubled waters, and you know, if your coach, we don't have a floor general that guys follow after and listen to, and if you have that stuff with the coach going on, you know, there could be a lot of murmurings here and there. You know, Fizzo might play guys to prove a point, regardless of how the front office may want it. I think, like Ross said, Mike Miller might be the next guy. There might be some division because remember, and Ross points out before that they sent down Iggy and then they brought him back up. So that might be differences in opinion and perspective as to how they want to develop Iggy between the coach and once you start seeing the coach in the front office start to not gel, sometimes that spills out to the team. So
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think what happened with Iggy though is he went down to the Westchester Knicks. He was going to play against Raptors 905, but the game got canceled because you know they couldn't use the gym at the at their arena, and I'm still not sure if they got a new floor in there. Something happened with the floor, so the game got canceled. So they called him back up. Yeah.
My bad. I take that back then. But yeah, you know, I don't know if it's at ground zero right now or what will be the, you know, Mayday or whatever you want to call it in terms of like where the coach and front office is, but those distractions might get to the team. Right now, RJ is pressing. You know, and last time we won because Portis had a hot game and Frank, you know, had some defensive stops, especially late in the game. You know, and I can't remember what Morris had, but again, we can't rely on these individual guys to have these superlative games. And without a system, you know, look, it's a toss up as to whether the Knicks will win. We should win, but last time, look who got hot. You know, Markkanen was hitting a few shots. I think Levine hit a few threes.
Yeah.
He was hot. We couldn't contain him. So what? And we're playing on their court. You know, what I mean, we're not playing at home. So where are we gonna dig from? Are we gonna dig from scheme? Are we gonna dig from, you know, resolve? We don't have that. Are we gonna dig from leadership? We don't have that. Are we gonna dig from emotion again? How many times can you keep going to emotional well to say, hey, Porter, this is a team that didn't want you? It's like,
right.
You know what I mean? I just
I
can't call it, man.
All right. Let's see what's up. Nate, coming to you, man. Tell me what you think about this Bulls game. 1 second. Let me get you unmuted. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't know when the last time the Knicks won in Chicago. It's been a while. Taj Gibson, I think, was still playing there. Maybe the last time we won, or I don't know. It's been a while since we've won. I mean, it's gonna come down to defense, man. I mean, being able to play the defense like we did in Dallas. I'm a little worried that I think Zach LaVine's gonna go off. He was kind of quiet the last game,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's gonna erupt this next game. So, Barrett's gonna have to play good defense. Then Lakina's gonna have to play good defense. Keep Wendell Carter off the boards. It could be a real problem last game. I don't know, man. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know either, man. We'll see.
We're still not shooting a good percentage, which is a big concern.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like that all season long. I don't see it changing anytime soon.
And the thing is, if we can't shoot a good percentage and we can't play good defense, we're gonna lose every game.
Yeah.
Unless we have one of those games where we shoot 50% and the other team shoots 50%, but we find a way to win.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, let me get to Roz, man, and then I'm getting out of here. Roz.
Sub Sim.
Yeah, man. Let me know. What do you think about the Bulls game Tuesday night?
Well, like the guy said, I'm not too sure on us trying to get that game, but at the same time, I also acknowledge that for the players right now playing in MSG and dealing with us, the fans, it's also very mental. I noticed that in Dallas, they kind of play better when they're not at home, which is weird and sad at the same time. So let's hope that with their coach being on the spotlight, something goes on. Hopefully that 1 minute conversation of Steve Mills and Scott Perry leads to something. But we looking terrible, and I just wanted to finish with saying no CP3, no Mark Jackson, and fire Fixdale. That's all.
All right. That's your last words. All right, my man. I appreciate you, man. I see you on Sportscaster.
Yeah. Show the love. Yo, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button now.
No doubt. Hit that like button, man. Before you guys get out of here, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. All right, ring that note. Oh, let me get to Nate one more time before we get out of here. Got something to say real quick. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, going back, just go real quick on that point with that press conference. I was thinking about it when you were talking to all the people. This might have been a Dolan move. This might have been like a message from Dolan to Mills because he's like the right-hand man of Dolan. So, how this team responds this next game will tell me if Fizdale has lost his team or not. If we get blown out, then I believe that this team has given up on Fizdale. If we come out and fight and we win or come close to winning, then that tells me the team still believes in Fizdale.
Okay. All right. Roz, go ahead, Roz.
Now, let me respond to Nate. It was a Dolan move because I heard mentioning on Twitter that during the halftime, Dolan walked out of his seat.
Yeah, he was at the game.
Yeah, he was at the game. When he came back, but you never saw Scott Perry and Steve Mills on coming back after halftime. So that lets me know that even in between the game, when the game was going on, they already had that, that written speech. So it was a warning as a whole for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys.
Agreed on something, Nate. We agreed on something.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, man. I'll be on at 10:30 tomorrow to do the game preview. All right.
All right, man. Have
all
a
right,
good
man.
night.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting here with me. I know it was a rough night for Knicks fans, so I appreciate you guys for being here with me. And like I said, tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m., I'll be doing the game preview. I'll be back home in the studio. All right. So make sure you check it out. All right, we're going to talk about the Knicks, Bulls. We'll look at the previous game. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll talk about Tuesday night's game and what the Knicks need to do. Just really get this thing back on track because, it's bad. It's bad. And like my man Davon, whoever it was, said, you want to keep the boss in the office. When the boss comes out the office, sometimes that spells trouble. We don't know if it is. If it's spelling trouble now, but sometimes that spells trouble. Let me give one last shout out to Do. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I'm calling it. Knicks get blown out again, and Fizz gets relieved of his duties. Get Shaka Smart on the line. Okay, Do. I'm gonna mark this down, Do. I'm gonna mark this down right now. And we're gonna talk about it tomorrow in the game preview too. You know what I'm saying? You're calling it that the Knicks get blown out and Fizz gets relieved of his duties. So Do is calling it right now. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here, man. I will talk to you guys tomorrow night, 10:30. Please, before you leave out of here, smash that like button, man. Give me a thumbs up. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, then I get it. All right, but give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that subscription button. I need about 40 more subscribers to hit that 10,000 mark. So share this out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Share it out there. Let me get them, let's hit that 10,000 mark so I can celebrate with everybody because you guys did it. I'm saying you guys did it. So big shout out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace.